Good afternoon. This is Suzanne Sellers, your favorite global travel expert, owner, and travel advisor at SuzyDee Travel LLC, also known as SuzyDee's Scenic Destinations. Today is Saturday, July 25th. In the year 2020, I am in beautiful Negril, Jamaica. I'm staying at the Azul Beach Resort by Charisma in Negril. I wanted to talk about the COVID protocols at the Sangster International Airport when I arrived there on yesterday. This is my second time in Jamaica since the COVID pandemic hit. When Jamaica opened its borders on June 15th, I arrived at Sangster International Airport on June 17th. At that time, I stayed at Sandals Resort in Montego Bay. I'm here for the second time and arrived here on yesterday, July 24th. And the protocols are a little bit different. They're a little more relaxed. When I came the first time in June, they were giving everybody COVID tests at the airport. You had to have the COVID test at the airport, and you had to quarantine at your resort until the results came back. And even after the results came back, they would call you and let you know what your result was, and if it was positive, they did some things, and if it was negative, they told you that, but you still had to stay at the resort. This time, they have put the onus on the traveler from the hotspot states. They have named 4 hotspot states that they're asking travelers from those states to have their own COVID test in their home state that's dated 7 days prior to their departure. I live in Illinois. I am not from one of those 4 hotspot states. I think it's Florida, Texas, and a couple of others. I'm not from a hotspot state per Jamaica's list. However, I did have a COVID test in my home state of Illinois a week prior to my departure. And the Illinois testing facility called me the day before I left Illinois and told me that my test was negative. They didn't do emails. They said they would mail me a letter to have it in writing that my test was negative. I took a test just for my own comfortability, whether I'm from a hot state or not. I don't want to travel with COVID, so I took my own test. And it was negative, and so I still got on the plane and came on yesterday. When I arrived at Sangster, they asked a number of questions. They social distanced us, starting from when we got off the plane. I had Club Mobe this time. I did not have Club Mobe last time. And last time, the processing time was an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes from the time I got off the plane to the time I was allowed to leave to go to my resort. This time, it wasn't as long. I want to say 30 to 40 minutes was my time frame from the time I got off the plane to the time I was released to go to my resort. I went to one table where there was health professionals there, again dressed in full PPE like last time, big plastic face mask, and then the face mask around the mouth, the jacket on, the scrubs, the hat, the gloves. I had to sanitize my hands before I was able to sit down. They have this chairs positioned 6 feet away from the health professional who's sitting behind the table. She asked me a number of questions, the same as they did when I came in June. And then she asked me to stay at my resort. Now, I heard them at the different tables asking people to stay at their resort. However, I'm looking on social media, I'm looking on the internet and different things, and I see people leaving their resorts. So I don't know. It seems that either people are getting mixed signals, some people are being told to stay at the resort and some are not, or people are being told to stay at the resort and they're leaving anyhow. In any case, I'm not going to be one of those. the health professional at the airport after my questionnaire. She asked me to stay at the resort, and I'm going to do that. I'm a travel professional, and then I just have common sense. I want to follow the rules of the country that I'm in. When you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Okay, so I'm in Jamaica. I'm doing what the Jamaicans do. They told me to stay at the resort, and I'm doing that. I hired a private driver to transport me from the airport to my resort. We did stop at a couple of jerk chicken places, jerk pork places on the way from the airport to the resort. But he took care of all of that for me. I was able to sit in the car, and everything is beautiful. I'm having a good time here at Azul. They do have stickers on the floor in the common areas telling people to stay 6 feet apart. That's easy for me to do because I'm here alone, and I just, stay to myself. People are in the beautiful Caribbean Sea that's behind me. I don't know if you can see it. I have a royal suite here at the Azul, and I'm on my private balcony right now, and I have an ocean view suite, and the Caribbean Sea is behind me. The beach is behind me. It's pretty quiet right now. It was loud music and entertainment going on during the midday, but right now it's almost 6 o'clock and it's kind of quiet. There are a lot of people here. I do not think this resort is at full capacity, but there are a lot of people here. And as far as COVID protocols, when you check in, they have electronic check-in where you scan the QR code on a piece of paper. The check-in form pops up on your phone, and you do the check-in yourself electronically to avoid contact with the resort personnel who work in the at the front desk. Also, they have you sanitize your hands. They have lots of masks here, and they pass out those masks to these guests. When they see you without a mask, especially if you're coming into one of the common areas to ask a question or whatever you're there for, they give you a mask. And I like that a lot. And they hand you the mask is inside of a plastic sleeve, and they pick up that plastic sleeve with some ice tongs or some kind of a clip thing, and they hand it to you that way. They do not touch it. I really appreciate that. I like that. They are serving food at their snack bar. They're serving food in paper containers, and they are being very careful with how they serve the food, and they try to distance themselves. The waitress staff, the wait staff, they try to distance themselves from you when they're serving the food. And I feel safe, I feel comfortable, and I feel good, and I'm having a great time. Thanks so much. Bye.